In this video, we'll show you how to install TimberTech Composite fascia boards. You can also use this same installation procedure to install TimberTech Composite riser boards. If all of your deck boards are cut and installed, then you're ready for the finishing step, installing the fascia. TimberTech Composite fascia and riser boards are simple to install. This composite product is easy to cut and fasten when using the recommended tools and fasteners. Before beginning, it's important to understand composite fascia material. Like other alternative fascia and riser products, TimberTech Composite fascia and riser boards will encounter expansion and contraction during temperature changes. To avoid large gapping, store your fascia or riser on a flat, level surface in a cool, dry place, with packaging on if possible, and keep them as cool as possible during installation, especially at the time of fastening. Avoid leaving fascia or riser boards in direct sunlight, as additional heat will extend the length of the board. If a board is fastened when heated, it will contract when cooled, exposing larger gaps at butt joints and edges. For best results in minimizing gapping, avoid exposing fascia or riser boards to direct sunlight. When possible, attach boards under shaded or clouded conditions. Attach the fascia boards immediately after cutting them. Do not cut and leave boards unattached for long periods of time or overnight, as the board length will change with temperature changes. Before installation, gather the tools on this list. The first step is measuring the length of the outside rim joist to determine the length of the composite fascia board needed. Ensure that a solid wood backer is in place where the composite fascia will be installed, and that it's wide enough to support the entire width of the fascia. Use a 2x12 wood rim board or rip-cut the fascia board to fit. To trim 2x8 framing, TimberTech riser may be used. Check the actual lumber size being used to verify compatibility for your application. A rip-cut may be required if there is too much overhang, but an overhang up to a ½ inch is acceptable. If fascia or riser does require a rip cut, make sure that the cut edge is positioned down and the factory edge faces upward to ensure that the core material is not exposed. The next step is to cut your TimberTech Composite fascia boards. When cutting, remember to always wear proper safety glasses. Fascia boards can be easily cut with a power miter saw or an electric circular saw. A power miter saw will provide the best results. Cut boards one at a time with the grain facing upward. Always cut factory ends to provide a clean square cut and finish. Do not install boards with factory end cuts. As always, remember to measure twice and cut once. For best results, don't cut boards after they have been fastened. If using a circular saw, be sure to use a saw guide to ensure a clean cut and finish. To cut around rail posts and other obstructions, a jigsaw can be used. The next step is to fasten your cut TimberTech Composite fascia board to your framing. For best results, use the Top Lock Composite Fascia Fastening System with color-matched screws, which are designed for use with TimberTech Composite fascia and riser boards. Nails or flathead screws should not be used. Do not use Cortex fasteners to install composite fascia or riser boards. Follow these butt joint gapping requirements for proper installation of TimberTech Composite fascia and riser boards. Position the board so it's flush with the top of the deck boards, and if the board has been rip-cut, ensure that the factory edge is facing up. Do not use adhesive to attach TimberTech Composite fascia or riser board to wood rim board. Pre-drill 1 inch from both ends of the board, no closer than 3/4 of an inch, or splitting will occur, and 2 inches from the top and bottom in order to install 2 screws at each end of the fascia board that is being attached. From there, you may pre-drill and alternate the placement of screws between the top and bottom, spacing them a maximum of 12 inches apart. For a more secure hold, consider installing fascia using 2 screws placed at a maximum of 12 inches apart instead of alternating. When using the alternating fastener method, you must place 2 fasteners at each end of the fascia board that is being attached. Drive Top Lock Composite fascia fasteners perpendicularly to the fascia surface so that the screw head is flush with the surface. Do not overdrive the fastener, and do not leave the head of the fastener sticking out. The screw should serve as a hanging mechanism and allow for board expansion and contraction. Do not install fasteners through the fascia into the sides or ends of the deck boards. Fasteners must be driven into a solid substructure such as the wood rim joists. With your new TimberTech Composite deck boards and fascia installed, you're now ready to enjoy your new deck.